Welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We'll be moving into our second segment here today, which is going to be talking about Tarik Skubal and his season for the Detroit Tigers. But before we do that, I'd like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link, gsmcpodcast.net. Really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get back into our second segment for the day. So, alright, as I talked about, we are going to be talking about Tarik Skubal and the season he has had for the Detroit Tigers. So, let's get into it. So, before the season started, I did end up making my full predictions for the year, and I did have Tarik Skubal winning the Cy Young for the AL. Now, I don't want to make it seem like I was some genius who no one else had this coming. I mean, a lot of people picked Skubal to win the Cy Young. I mean, it's easy to see why. But this was really something I was expecting from him for a long, long time now, and it has finally happened. And I'm finally happy to say that Skubal is breaking out. And just overall, he's a great player and a guy I'm very excited to watch for a long time. And yes, had a fantastic, fantastic season for this Tigers team. So, you look over Skubal's stats currently for the Tigers. You first look at the ERA, which is, of course, incredible, 2.32. His expected ERA, 2.80, incredible. FIP, 2.69. Expected FIP, 2.92. Already is almost at 3 pitching WAR with 2.8 right now. He's made 16 starts for the Tigers, never wavered once. His K to walk ratio is crazy. I mean, right now he has a 10.3 K per 9, a 1.7 walk per 9, and that makes a K to walk ratio of almost 6, which is unheard of. That's just incredible. K percentage of 29.1, again, K to walk ratio of 24.2, so just absolutely insane. Left on base percentage is at 80%, just is doing so good. Hard hit percentage is down 10% from last year, which is incredible. So, yeah, Skubal is having a very, very good season and is just doing great. And one of the reasons why I, like a lot of people, picked him to be the Cy Young winner this year for the AL, and that turned out right, is you look at his past performance. I mean, you look at last year, he had 15 games started before injury. He had a 2.80 ERA, and the peripherals were great as well. I mean, you look, his expected ERA was 2.30, his expected FIP was 2.56, his FIP was 2.0, 3.3 pitching WAR. So there was always potential with him. Was a top prospect for a little while. Has great stuff, and just was so good. And ended up being that. I mean, he did absolutely fantastic with them. And going into this year, I, like a lot of people, was thinking, okay, if Skubal stays healthy, he keeps this going for a full season, which we think he can. He's going to be the Cy Young winner. He's going to be one of the best pitchers in baseball, and at this point, he has been. I mean, he's been so good. Cy Young favorite at this point, I'd say, and just been absolutely fantastic. You start yesterday against the Phillies offense, by the way. Phillies offense was incredible. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. It was an aces matchup last night in Tarik Skubal versus Ranger Suarez. It was a very great game. There was 1 inning of action, and after that, it was just a pitcher's duel throughout that. Suarez did give it 4 earned runs, though, so that's kind of disappointing. But overall, Skubal, again, having games like this against an offense like the Phillies is extremely impressive. So, Skubal, I honestly think, is going to be a future superstar. Is at this point a top 5 pitcher in baseball and is going to stay one for a long time. And it's just following in that tree of elite Tigers starting pitchers. I mean, of course, you had in the past Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. You're not going to have Skubal. And it's just done so great this year. And it's just unfortunate that the Tigers themselves have not followed up with that. Obviously have done pretty poorly. And the Tigers weren't a team I expected to make the playoffs, weren't a team I had highly thought of, but I expected them to take a step up this year. I really did. I thought there were a lot of good pieces, a lot of good young pieces on this team to be able to step up. And really, they just have not. And it's been very unfortunate for them. So that is sad. But, I mean, really the main reason is just their young hitters. There's Spencer Torkelson and Parker Meadows, 2 guys they had slotted in on opening day. Meadows in center field, Torkelson at first base. Both of those guys they thought would be franchise pieces, and now both are in AAA trying to get back in the major leagues. Colt Keith, a guy you can't option because you signed him to a huge extension, has not done great this year. Has shown more potential than the other 2, but still hasn't done great. Has been better as of recently, but again, still would like better seasons from him. And I think if those 3 guys really did improve and were better this year, they would have been a much better team. Because you look at this rotation, it's really incredible. You have Skubal, you have Jack Flaherty, who I talked about last segment as being a great pitcher this year and being one of the main trade pieces for a lot of teams. Kenta Maeda, who's been a good veteran pitcher for you guys. Reese Olson, who's also been a really good, solid younger piece for your team. So there's a lot of good starting pitching on this team, a lot of good pitching. Your bullpen is also incredible. Guys like Shelby Miller, Alec Lang, Andrew Chafin, Jason Foley. I mean, those are 4 really great relief pitchers right off the rip there. So, yeah, if I'm a Tigers fan overall, I am very excited with Skubal and his future. Just unfortunate and sad that the Tigers team really did not take the step up that you would like them to for today, for the future as well. Now, looking over the Tigers, there still is a lot to like here. I mean, of course, I think Torkelson is, unfortunate. I don't know what is going to happen with Torkelson, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that overall, he's not ever going to live up to the expectations that they expected from him, which is a 40 home run bat. I mean, you pick a first baseman first overall, you're expecting him to be a generational slugger, I'd say. So that's unfortunate. But, you have the potential to trade for some good prospects here when you trade Flaherty. Of course, Skubal is going to be a big part of your rotation going forward. Maybe Casey Mize steps up and becomes a big part of your rotation. Reese Olson, hopefully he continues this performance and does really well, becomes a big part of this Tigers' future. Again, bullpen has a lot of good pieces for the future as well. So, yeah, as much as the Tigers are unfortunately not doing great this year and have underperformed, there sure are a lot of good pieces. Jackson Jobe, one of the top prospects in baseball, should be up at some point next year, which should also help your rotation. Max Clark should be up in some point in the next 2 to 3 years. Superstar bat, I think. Chase Young should be up sometime this year. Kevin McDongle, I can't pronounce his name, but also a top prospect, should be up in upcoming years, probably 2 to 3 as well. But there are still some good pieces on this Tigers team. There are a lot of things to like, and as much as you have been underperforming with guys like Skubal at the helm, you still do have a lot of potential here. You still do have a lot of hope. And looking at the deadline again, you're going to be able to trade guys like a Chafin, like a Miller, to get some good pieces back. Maybe even flip Foley or Lang for a controllable bat, because as much as they are good, they're a reliever. And the Tigers have shown that they can churn out very good relievers. They know how to do that in that bullpen. So there are a lot of potential things here to do for the Tigers, and I think it really all comes back to Tarik Skubal and building around him. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to offer him a massive extension, to be perfectly honest. And I think he is going to sign with the Tigers long term at some point. They have to. I mean, this guy's incredible. He's not a player you trade to get prospects back. This is a guy you keep at the start of your rotation for the next 10 to 15 years, and you build around him. These are the guys you put monuments outside the stadium for. So, yeah, if I'm a Tigers fan, I'm very much hoping Skubal will continue this, of course. And, again, I think he's a fantastic pitcher, fantastic player, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds for him. And, yeah, I think he's really going to be fantastic. So, again, the Tigers just have done very unfortunate this year, just, have not done great. And there are still a lot of pieces here in the future. Just, you look at Skubal and you have hope again. Tigers have a long line of great elite homegrown starting pitchers with Verlander, and I think Skubal will be the next guy of that. Scherzer wasn't really homegrown, being a first round pick by the Diamondbacks, but Tigers traded for him after Diamondbacks gave up on him, so I guess maybe. But yeah, overall, Tigers team still has a lot going for them. There's still a nice future here. So if I'm a Tigers fan, I am excited about where this team can go, and I am excited about what is going to happen in the future. AL Central is going to be tough for the future as well, though. That is one thing you have to look at with teams like Cleveland, who is not going away. I mean, they now have taken over for the best record in baseball last night, so of course they're going to be a problem for years to come. Royals don't look like they're going anywhere. Twins look like they're going to be good. Maybe even the White Sox should be good in 2 to 3 years. So this AL Central is going to end up being fun for the next few years, and I think the Tigers are going to be battling. I think they're going to be a good team, and it should be very exciting to watch them and watch this entire team progress. I am very excited just as a baseball fan. I think there are a lot of good pieces here, and I think there are a lot of exciting players to watch. And yeah, I love Max Clark, by the way. Just want to talk about him because we're talking about the Tigers. Their top prospect. I think he's fantastic, and I think he's going to end up being very, very good for a long, long time. So yeah, that is our second segment here, talking about the Detroit Tigers and Tarik Skubal season for them. We'll be moving into our third segment, which is going to be talking about my updated All-Star ballot for, first off, which league are we going to be doing first. We'll be doing the American League. So yeah, we'll be talking about that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free.